Hello everybody, this is a cryptocurrency video talking about my top choice of altcoin for 2018 and best price action techniques to not just for Ethlend, but for pretty much every single altcoin or coin, including Bitcoin and others, Ethereum. So best strategies to use for getting into the market at the best times. A lot of traders I see jumping in when the volume starts pushing up. So when you see a bunch of green candles in a row, or like in this area here, that's not always the best idea, because what can happen is volume can shoot up like you see in this area, and then it basically tops out, and then there's a sell-off that happens, right? And you don't want to be one of those people that gets in at the very top and then for it to push back down, and then you have to wait a long time before it recovers. And that can just be a little bit frustrating. So what's the best way to, or entry points when it comes to trading in general, and in particular the cryptocurrency market? So let's talk about where and why I got involved in Ethlend. I found Ethlend from an announcement from Binance. Binance is one of the top exchanges for cryptocurrency trading, and it allows U.S. traders like myself. And now they announced 7 days ago that they were listing Ethlend, and Ethlend has been on the market on Binance because it won a competition through their Twitter feed, through Binance's Twitter feed, through a vote that they had. And so Ethlend won that and was listed for free on Binance, and it's been on a tear ever since. So here is Ethlend, and you can see it on what everybody likes to show, CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap currently is down a little bit, but it has been on a big climb ever since it really was released. And you can see the time that it was released on Binance, and Binance obviously has a lot of market volume because it has a lot of traders as well. You can see what happened when that was listed. So it's been on a constant climb, and it has had some dips ever since, but it's been on a constant climb. So why Ethlend? What is so great about this altcoin? Well, for one, it actually was listed on November 26th for a pre-coin sale. Like, as an altcoin approaches the market, they'll do a pre-sale of coins so you can get them at a cheaper price or in bulk. And it also helps out the coin itself when they raise money to pay for further development. And Ethlend actually was huge. In the first 30 minutes, they sold 10 million of their coins, and that only left 20% left after the first 30 minutes. And they sold out very quickly. I think in the next hour after that. And so this coin has a huge community behind it, and the cool thing about it is Ethlend allows for peer-to-peer lending. So if you guys know of Prosper or Lending Club, those are peer-to-peer lending platforms for individuals like me or you to lend to other people. And so you're basically acting as a credit card type of company, but as an individual. And the interest rates are typically lower at Lending Club and Prosper than they were at credit card companies. We're talking about maybe a quarter or half of what the credit card companies offer. And so it's just a much better option for getting out of debt or getting a loan for a car or home and things like that. And now we're into a new age of lending where it's decentralized, and it's covered through a very interesting technique using collateral. So for example, I will use my stake in Bitcoin as collateral for borrowing more Ethlend, and you can do that with this type of altcoin here to, I guess, expand your your investing capabilities by borrowing more funds and using collateral for that. And so that's how they are able to work this system, so to make sure that everybody is protected on both sides. And the loans are typically pretty short. They can be anywhere from 10 to 30 days, but it depends on the person and what they're looking for. And it's a set interest. You can set the interest rate as well, so it's a lot more flexibility. And you don't need a bank to do this. You can lend to somebody in a different country, and it's just peer-to-peer. It's simple, easy. There's no banks involved. And it's a very simple process, and it's already taking effect with Ethlend. And they have a great community. Their website's awesome. They have a video that explains how everything works. Their lending process is already taking effect, which is awesome. And they have a good team and an active community. Their blog is active, as you can see. They are making new announcements even as soon as well, just yesterday. So they're very active with their community, which is always something that you want with an altcoin or a coin or any cryptocurrency for that matter. Okay, so this altcoin is awesome because it's very cheap as well, and it was 4 cents when I got into it. And if you look at CoinMarketCap, let's see if I can find where that was. And you can see that just when it was listed on Binance, it was just over 2 cents. So I wish I would have seen it earlier. I didn't catch it until about the 14th, when it was at about 4 cents. Was when I got in, and it's been on a rise ever since. And you can see the volume. The volume right here has been gradually increasing. Now it did drop a bit here in this area, but I do see it starting to pick up again, and I'll explain to you why that is. So let's get into where I entered on this cryptocurrency, and how and why and when I actually do add to it as well. And so this kind of technique is something that you can use with any cryptocurrency coin or altcoin. And it just follows price action very well, and it shows you the best places to get in where you're basically entering right at these points in the market, so you don't have any loss of value on your coin and it goes straight up, and the chances of that are very high using these techniques. So I was entered at 239, so just after this candle right here. So this is on the 1 hour chart, as you can see. Now I'm not using these indicators right now. These are just the standard indicators. They have the MACD and the MA as well. But let's focus a little bit in on these candles. Okay, so you can see the peak here, the drop, the bullish candle right after. But the ones that are interesting to me are this here. I use a technique called the inside candle, and so it's basically a bearish candle in this case, followed by a bullish candle. This is more of a line graph, but it's still barely bullish here. But the inside, when I call it an inside candle, is because this candle is completely inside the previous candle, which is larger. Typically, what this means is the push on the downside is slowing, and the market, or this particular crypto, is looking to push up again. So you have this inside candle, you have this nice flag candle, or you can even almost call it a hammer, but when you see a candle push down and then push back up, making it green with a small body and a large wick on it, that also shows that there's some heavy support down at this area, and it's getting hit multiple times. And so I saw that, I waited a bit longer, saw this better looking hammer candle, again showing resistance, showing support down at this area, and I entered soon after that, and it shot up. Okay, so you can use price techniques to jump in on cryptocurrencies, and they do work very well. A lot of you know me as a trader of the current foreign currency exchange market, and so the forex market. And I use a lot of these techniques to trade with, and they show price action very well. Not all the time, because we can't always be right, but they do show some really good techniques for better entries into the market. So you can also use the 15-minute time frame, and that actually can show you a lot too. And this is actually where I looked for a re-entry. So there was a inside candle here, and this one was almost inside, but the body of the actual candle was, but the wick was just below. Let me zoom in just a bit further. Yeah, so the wick was below, so that's not quite a signal for an exit. But you could run this up. When you see this, you could say, all right, I'm going to close out my stake at the moment, or realize that there is going to be a pullback that happens, and you're going to just have to wait it out. So this came down, and there was some resistance, some support in this area, but it wasn't that much of a pullback, in my definition, to really push this back up further and break this top. So I waited a bit longer, waited till this inside candle here, and it just happened to be at the MA right here too, which is I can't remember what number that is that they have set, but it was an inside candle after a good push down, and then it pushed way back up at that point, and it has been moving up ever since. So there has so that's another inside candle definition, or good example of where price found a support level and then popped up. Alright, so then it happened again, another push down, and this time there was a good bearish candle. It didn't really make a new high, but the body of the candle was much larger and also closed below the previous open and close of the previous candle, which was bullish. And so this was a pretty good place for price to push down again. And now we have, going back to the 1 hour, I like to use the 1 hour because it shows, it's a little bit more accurate on price, and a better representation of what price is actually doing. But there are some places where the price will hit and then jump up and not really give us an inside candle or bullish engulfing candle or anything like that. But in this case, it did push up, but the inside candle did show on the lower time frame, so you do have to watch for those, and they can give you some hints even on the smaller time frames. Okay, so we're pushed back down. We went to the peak, or double top, pushed back down. Inside candle, not really strong. It wasn't really strong inside candle, but it was still one. So you look at the bottom, the top, the previous candle, top and bottom, and now we're starting to push up again, right? And so I expect that we're going to at least hit this double top again, push up, hit the double top, and hopefully this time break through. And that's how you can read price action on cryptocurrencies, is that it works very similar on every single market. It doesn't matter if it's stocks, it doesn't matter if it's the foreign exchange market, or even cryptocurrencies. Price action still follows a lot of the same rules from market to market, and here you have a pretty good representation of what to expect. So you have a support level, right? A previous support level. Market pushes down, inside candle at the same support level, and then a potential bounce and continuation on the upside. So that's just with Ethlend. And I like this crypto because it has a lot of positivity behind it. I think that lending through a decentralized market is something that's not really being done that much right now. There is another crypto called Salt that is doing this, and they have a lot of potential behind their product, but their price is already at $10. And so, I mean, they've been on pushing up quite a bit as well, but Ethlend is so cheap at just at just 7 cents right now, and I think that there's a lot more potential for this crypto. I have an expectation in 2018 for this crypto to go to at least 50 cents, maybe as much as 75 to $1 in 2018, and I feel like there's a lot of backing behind this altcoin. So that's how you can read into price action with any cryptocurrency, and hopefully you guys will look in a little bit deeper into Ethlend and why it has good potential for this market when a lot of coins aren't doing something like this, and it has a lot to offer to the crypto markets, and that's what you want in a coin, is something that's a little different, that has a lot of potential behind it for users to use the product, but also be traded at the same time. So if you like what you've seen here, let me know, and by pushing that like button or subscribing, and I will continue to make videos like this talking about other altcoins and price action in particular, because let's take, for example, before I leave you in peace, let's look at some other coins. For example, like ADA, this coin went from 10 cents to 56 in a matter of a week, and you can see the same kind of techniques are in place, where you have a new high that was hit, a push down, an inside candle setup, and this one is really good inside candle setup because the bearish candle is a wick, has a really large wick, and then the inside candle also has a wick, but this is a bullish candle, so it needs to be a previous bearish candle followed by a bullish for this to give a signal of it's going to push up. And you can see that's what's happening right now, that this two candle setup is showing that the push down is done, and this is ready to make a new push or a continuation of the trend that's already been happening. And you'll see that with every single cryptocurrency, and I hope that this helps you get into the market at better times instead of entering right near the peak right before it pushes back down and you're in a hole when it comes to your investment. So if you like this, press the like button, and hopefully I can make more videos revolving around price action in the cryptocurrency market. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.